Do I sound okay? Do I look okay? Hi, Jessica. Hey, Sniper. Greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond but under the same skies. Greetings, my friend. Let me make sure. I am live, right? Everything's working out. You never know. I've been experiencing some technical stuff. So I need to check and make sure. There I am, up on the big screen. Jessica, how are you feeling? Jessica says hi to Sniper. Sniper says hi back. We'll do some as the title, Breathwork and Chat. Hey, Skits. Jessica says, I'm okay. So it's the that is concerning. It's okay if you're not okay, because we'll help in any way that we can. Jessica says hi to Skits. Skits says hi, Squirrel, and Jessica. Skits, how are you doing? Sorry, paying a little bit of attention to my cat. Hey, Jessica, you have any pets? So we'll do breath work. We'll chat. We'll chat about breath work if you guys want. Jessica says no. Have you ever thought about emotional pet animal? Both cats and dogs help. I think dogs are, my opinion. I get no emotional support from my cats. None. Zero. It says, I'm okay, apart from my anxiety, but I'll be fine. How are you, youngster? Well, just a little bit. We'll do some breath work. Maybe we can help with hey, Jeremy and Cheryl, how are you? Said good afternoon. The premier cruising channel on all of the interwebs. My honest opinion. Um, and here's why. You don't, you soak up, you absorb information, but you don't even need to be interested in cruising. Uh, they're so engaging, they're so friendly, they're so loving and kind that you show up, you hang out, and you're just drawn to keep hanging out. So being interested in cruising would be like a bonus, in my opinion. For me, it reminds me of, all right, it's a weird comparison. The old days of like Regis and Kathy Lee, when, talk shows where you hung out and you listen to people have a conversation. That's what it reminds me of. That's why I love it. Yes, hi Yogi. I lost track of all time. What were you doing? Let's see. Just it says my service. Good dad a few years back. Haven't since. Dog. I can understand that. I lost two dogs in 2019, and although I had a loner dog in between, sort of a loner dog, I no longer have that loner dog. Makes me sad to think about. Hey, Easy. Easy says hello, hello, all friends. Hello. Hey, Ash. Ash says day 5 on my roll. I appreciate it, Ash. Hey, Sissy. Hey, all my friends coming in. Easy Home Cooking says, Lucy, hello. Did I miss Lucy? Hey, Lee. Ash says, how you been, Yogi? I've been pretty good, Ash. How about you? How's your summer going, Ash? He says, hey to Sissy. Easy says, hi, Jessica. Hey, Karen. Hey, guys. We've been playing Karen's playlist. Get some watch hours. If you don't mind, maybe running a playlist for Karen a time or two as well. She's never asked for it, ever. Cat and Jack is seeking to be monetized as well. And she's never asked for watch hours. Actually, neither has Sissy. But if we could run playlists for both these guys, it'd be pretty big. It'd be much appreciated. Hey, Abigail. Abigail says, helping everyone mod today. You're always a good help, Abigail. I appreciate that. Jessica says, I'm going to my corner before Lee comes to clean it. Don't you hate when people clean your corner without asking? Lee says, say to Karen and Easy Home. Easy says, all friends, please, my new cooking video today, full watch. Absolutely. Could you drop a link for it? Always feel free to drop a link, guys. Whatever you have. Something upcoming, something that you've already put out, doesn't matter. So we're going to do when Jessica's ready. I wanted to wait and see if a few more people come in. We're going to start out. We've been going for a couple minutes with some breath work right off the bat. And then we can talk about breath work. We can talk about meditation. We can talk about yoga. We can talk about whatever your little heart desires to talk about. Sissy's laughing. My opinion. I'm offering my opinion today. I told you my opinion about Jeremy and Cheryl. Just an awesome channel. My thoughts, it's a Jeremy and Cheryl channel. Cruising is just passion. I go to hang out with Jeremy and Cheryl. Anyway, Kat and Sissy, they deserve to be monetized because they're doing beautiful, honestly, beautiful, beautiful work. And you know who's turned into a top-notch YouTuber? Skits. You got an opportunity to do a Skits live stream. It's just phenomenal. It's like hanging out with your best friend. You're welcome, Kat. He says you're a great singer, Abigail. She certainly is. Let's see. Ash says it's winter here, but not summer. I thought of that when I said that. It's cold, but it's good. How cold does it get there? Hey, Marlon. Then he says, I'm in. I desire whatever you want from me. My sexy yoga bear. That's not true, because I've asked you to stop saying sexy yoga bear. He says, guilty as charged. So you like a super tidy person, Lee? As you can tell, looking around my office, I am a super, super tidy person. Everything has a place, and don't anyone dare move anything. Everything's perfectly organized. I'm as tidy as they come. He says, Skits is like a childhood friend. You instantly feel comfortable at ease with him. Agreed, 100%. And you get to hang out in the pickle room, says Sniper. Well, it says, well, I'm alive, got food and water and public bathroom, not too far away. Where's your next destination? Sissy's laughing. Sissy, are you doubting me? Are you doubting my tidiness? I think it's perfectly evident. Just looking around. Look, if you look over there at that big box of shoes and other stuff, you don't want to see it before. Every shoe is organized. Jessica says, Hadley, I got my corner before you can clean it. He says, I know, Yogi. I always say to Jessica, I'm cleaning your corner in a bid to keep her from going there. Gotcha. All right. Abigail says, I'm practicing my song. So you gonna sing for us Friday? I want to put out to remember on Friday. If you have the words in front of you and not the music, it'll be easier for all of us. Dan says, "You label your label maker." I have a label maker specifically for the purpose of labeling my label maker, which is labeled by another label maker. It's label makers all the way down. What's up, Dan? Jessica said, Karen, and thank you. Abigail says, yes, I'm glad to hear that, Abigail. I'm looking forward to it. Easy says, well, friend, nice books. Is my favorite book. Well, thank you. Yeah, I got a lot. These are actually double shelf. There's books behind those books. Then I got a shelf here. I don't even want to show you the next room. The next room is a book hovel. It's got more books than anything else. Marlon says, meeting a friend. We both have car issues still, so it could take a bit longer than normally. Gotcha. Sissy says, maybe a bit of a feminine touch. I got 2 female cats. No judgment, and they touch everything. No judgment from me. All my clean laundry is neatly organized in a pile together on my wicker bench. Now I'm jealous. You have a wicker bench. If there's anything better than wicker, I don't know what it is. Dan says, I think you just described the concept of infinity with the label maker. Labels all the way down. Jessica says, why it's so hard not to panic in a group? I think groups act as a trigger. This is always the worst. So I think the key is to recognize the triggers before we're even in a group setting, or when we know there's going to be a group setting. Do our breath work beforehand, if possible, even meditate, and then just be aware. Have you guys heard me talk? I know some of you guys have heard me talk. I know most of you guys hear me talk incessantly. Rain. Rain is a mindfulness technique. The Buddhist teacher Tara Brach, she's local. Ex-wife and I used to go to some of her meetings in Bethesda, Sangha, spiritual communities. Very, very great Buddhist teacher, insight meditation. And he did get a super chat. There we go. That was awesome too. You deserved it. She wrote several books. Radical Acceptance. I forget the other titles. It doesn't matter. Anyway, she has it's called RAIN. It's an acronym. It's the practice of radical compassion, radical self-compassion. So RAIN is a acronym. I just brought it up. Easy to remember tool for practicing mindfulness and compassion using the following 4 steps. So when you feel, Jessica, when you're feeling anxiety, the first signs, even when you're in the throes of anxiety, if you recognize what is happening, that's the first R in RAIN. Allow the experience to be there. Don't fight it. You don't want to fight anxiety with anxiety because you just get more anxiety. So you're allowing. Recognize that I am experiencing anxiety. I'm not going to fight it. Investigate with interest and care. What is it that I feel anxious about? You don't need to know the answer. It's not in search of an answer. It is simply investigating. Interest and care. Where am I feeling? Where am I experiencing anxiety? For me, it's always my breath. It's always high up in my chest, and it's like someone just put a weight there and collapsed my lungs, literally collapsing me. And no matter how I breathe, no matter what I do, I'm not able to uncollapse. I'm not able to fill myself back up. Investigate it with care, meaning I'm gonna I'm gonna find where I'm experiencing this, and I'm gonna offer it care. I'm gonna love myself through this. And then the last. So now we have recognize the R, allow the A, investigate the I, nurture and self compassion with N. Nurture yourself. That might be to sit and do some breath work. It might be some gentle movement, maybe a few yoga asanas. Yoga asanas are the postures invaluable for reorganizing the central nervous system. Happy to work with anyone with a few asanas. So we recognize, we allow, we investigate, we nurture. Whatever nurturing might be for you. It might be a whole glass of water. It might be going out for a walk in nature. It might be going swimming. It might be gentle exercise. Find out. You find that out when we investigate with interest and care that we learn to listen. We tune in, we listen. Our body's going to tell us what to do. Our body is always going to tell us what to do. Our mind is responsible for the anxiety. It's the thoughts that have triggered it. But the body is experiencing the symptoms of our thoughts. So when we investigate the body, we see these symptoms, it's going to say, okay, I need to calm down. I need to do something so that I then can begin to change my thoughts. Start with the body. Ground yourself. Take your shoes off and get out in the grass and feel the grass between the toes. I think Sissy could offer some insight into this as well. JR says, so Yogi at work, so I can't stay. Wanted to say massive thank you for getting me over 100 subs. Also, big thanks to Shirley and Nick for the comments and support. So it started here, JR, but it didn't end here. Shirley went to Reapers and Buddha, and she dropped you a link. She went to bat for you. She said, guys, can you help out our friend? And Buddha, Trending, they stepped up and they said, hey, if you are friends with Shirley, we'll help you out. It was amazing to watch. Easy says, friend, see you tomorrow. See you, Easy. Easy, I got to talk you into dropping your links. Hey, Anna. Hey, Adam. Sniper's running an old favorite. It's quite hard without a beat, as it's quite fast. Timing is everything. So, Jessica, you ready for some breath work? Lee says, Abigail, my favorite memory of you is when you came and sing. The first time, Lee, wasn't that awesome? Ash says, it's still Ash, just change the user. Also, thanks to Cat and Sniper for always putting the link in the chat. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry. Cat and Sniper are awesome. Abigail says, I'm going to sing Hannah Montana. I will have to, I know who it is. I know Miley Cyrus, of course. I actually like Miley Cyrus. I like who she has grown into. I think it's pretty amazing. Shirley here. He says, Abigail made it better. Good to be a little nervous before it's quite a big deal coming up on a panel. It is. And to come up on a panel and sing is huge. Shirley says, JR, you got the A team of support because Yogi praised you, Buddha and Trending went to town for you. You're going to be fine. Next step, 500 subs, watch hours, get you monetized. He says, Jessica, you feeling better? Now you here with us all? JR says, I have to go because I'm at work. Just wanted to show my appreciation. Hopefully live at 9 p.m. See you soon. Stay blessed. We'll be on the lookout for you. Jessica says she's doing the best. All we can do is do our best. Stephen says, Eric and Tina Heron, taking a picture now. Awesome. Hey, Fastbuck. And it says, thank you, JR. Stay blessed too. Oh, I meant to mention that. Thank you, Shirley. JR, I don't know if you're still here. If you could do a playlist, not of shorts, start maybe with your live streams. Otherwise, we won't be able to get you watch hours. If that's what you're interested in. Abigail says hi to Jessica. Adam says, my personal experience with anxiety is it very rarely shows up knowing that I'm in control of nothing. Hey, Adam, I forget which short. Maybe it was a live stream you left a comment on, and you mentioned about the self-realization exercises, energizing exercises, and I dropped a video there that I found that they guide you through the whole thing. So you just need to put it up, and they'll guide you through it. Takes about 15 minutes. Abigail says, Wednesday is my birthday. Well, happy birthday. So whenever anyone's ready, we got enough people here. If you want to do some breath work, we will do some breath work. I thought we would do some box breathing. What I want to do is present a few simple breaths that people will remember and they can do. Jessica's ready. They can do on their own as needed. Although, remember, I will always do breath work here. Always. Hey, Lucy. Lucy says, so Yogi Eric. Hello, Lucy. Lisa sounds good, Yogi. Percolated fish weighs it Anna. Susie's ready. All right. Anna says yes, and I'm ready. Abigail says yes. Thanks, guys. This is box breathing. We're going to breathe in a box. We're not going to put our head in a box. That might be helpful sometimes, though. We're going to breathe in a pattern of a box. We're going to breathe in through the nose using that ujjayi breath, that ha, ocean breath, for a count of 4. That's one side. We're going to hold the breath for a count of 4. That's the top. We're going to exhale, count of 4, making that ha sound. That is the other side. The bottom, we're going to hold our breath again. So it's a box pattern. In, hold, out, hold. As well. Hey, Ryan. As well, if you want. You don't have to. As we hold the breath, we're going to lightly pinch the nose. This is called the Vishnu Mudra. Fingers are supposed to stay together. Mine don't. So don't worry about it if they don't. If you don't want to do the Vishnu Mudra, we're not pinching hard. We're not seeing how. We don't want to pretend like we're not allowing any air to escape. We just want to gently close. The reason is, one, this is an ancient mudra, thousands of years old. So you tune in. A mudra is an energetic pattern used with your body. You're tuning into the energy of every person in history who've ever used this for a particular reason of relaxing. A lot of energy in it. As well, scientifically speaking, it is called the mammalian dive reflex. That when the nostrils are closed off, it triggers a relaxation response, a very deep, deep response where your heart rate slows down even further. You get a calming effect. So we'll close our eyes and we'll hold for count of 4. It also introduces a very mindful movement. I breathe in, hold, I exhale, hold. So it brings that mindful movement into the mix. Remember that ha sound? It goes Thank you, Sniper. I would definitely take a look in just a little bit. I just brought your channel up. So we're going to start. Any questions before we start? Hey, Joe. Ryan drops a link. Thanks, Ryan. All right. So for those who are going to participate, if you can go ahead and close your eyes. Eyes closed. We are going to bring some soft focus to the breath right now. We just want to breathe in through the nose, and we want to breathe out through the nose. Nothing special, no magic ratio, just breathing, noticing the breath as it touches the tip of the nostrils as we breathe in. Notice that brief pause, and then we breathe out, and notice the air moving through the nose, escaping at the very tip of the nostril, and then coming back in and out. That pause, in and out. Breath is a wonderful tool. Do a brief scan through your body, starting at your temples. And wherever you feel any tension, just gently breathe into it, as if you're sending a little puff of air. And as soon as it touches that area, it completely relaxes. Only spending a brief instant each place. Move down to your jaw, your shoulders, all the way down to your fingertips. Breathing, relaxing. Notice your belly. You want the belly to be soft and responsive. As you breathe in, it expands. As you exhale, it falls back. Breathe into the legs, relaxing all the way down to your toes. And very easily introduce that ujjayi breath, the ha, the ocean's breath. Gently. Hear that sound as you breathe in. We're listening. Listen to that sound as you breathe out. Breathing in. We're going to breathe in the pattern of the box. In, hold, out, hold. If you are comfortable, you can lightly clasp the nose. Brings an additional sense of relaxation as we do it. And on this breath, we're going to breathe in for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, and hold for 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose for 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. In for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose for 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose for 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. And let the breath go. Allow it to settle in its own natural rhythm, its own pattern, completely relaxed, at ease, heart rate's lowered, sitting. Just enjoy that peace within the body. That peace is there, present always, 100%. It's who you are. You can tap to it anytime. Doesn't have to be a special breath pattern. Notice the breath in times of stress and follow it. Follow the in-breath, follow the out-breath, and settle into this peace that you have right now, anytime it's needed. It's your connection. It's your connection to God. It's your connection to love. God and love being synonymous. It's who you are. Relax. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, open your eyes. I will see you in the chat. Let's see. Hey, Magadoo. How are you, my friend? Magadoo says, hey, bro. It's been a little bit, Magadoo. I hope you're well. Wiki says, Soupy Day is amazing, friend. It's been a pretty good day. Appreciate it. Anna says, thank you so much, Yogi. I'm at peace. You're welcome, Anna. Anna says, how to Magadoo. Jessica says, thank you, Eric. You're welcome. MK says, thank you, Yogi. Not sure how often, but definitely a nice breath to do once in a while. Felt really good today. Well, I'm glad. You can do it every day if you want. There's a lot of value in breath holds. I know breath holds is one of Sniper's favorites. Guys, if you click on Sniper's link, he's got a beautiful heron sitting on a fallen tree. Mind its own business. Doing heron stuff. We've all been there. We've all sat on a tree and did heron stuff before. I have. And I know I'm not special. Thank you for the jewels. Much appreciated. Lisa says, so does Swiggy. Just subbed. And hello to MK. Anna says, hi to MK. Magadoo says, doing good. Thanks. Hi, Anna. I've been in dropping a like, but I haven't been around much. All good here, though. Glad to see you still going. I hope to always keep going, Magadoo. I appreciate you stopping in. Been coming for a while, and I much appreciate it. He says, did you use the arrow? There's two more pics at Cypress Post. I have not done the arrow yet. In flight? Well, both awesome shots in flight. They're such awesome birds. I love seeing them fly through the woods because it's hard to imagine something that looks so ungainly can instantly be that graceful in the air. Hey, Brian. Brian says, may everyone have a blessed day. You too, Brian. Brian's dropping in before work. McAdoo says, my pleasure, brother. Thank you so much. Anna says, thank you, McAdoo. It's great that you're doing good. So, Brian, I hope we can talk sometime soon. Lisa says, so, Brian. So, one of the things that you can help to bring you back to that state right after breath work. Maybe we'll do it this afternoon. Or maybe we'll do it the last breath before we sign off, which will be not going to be a super live stream. We're going to get our hour in. We'll be back this evening. Of course, we can anchor it. Hey, Mr. Dollar City, how are you, my friend? Sissy says, anyone else have a tingling face? Interesting. Shirley says, Brian, that's the second blessing I got from you today. God bless. That's what Brian does. Brian's an awesome person. Yeah, I sent you a reply, Brian. I sent you a voice reply. If it didn't go through for some reason, I'll resend it, but I might resend it on Messenger instead of text. Jessica says, I just feel so much calmer. So Shirley says, where's my lady? He was here. He was here right before breathwork. I hope I didn't put him to sleep. Would not be the first time someone fell asleep. Brian says, oh, did you check out the heron, Brian? So here's how you anchor. You can pick a spot on your hand. It could be pinching two fingers together. It could be pinching with the other hand some point on your hand and holding it. Say we'll hold it for 30 seconds, 90 seconds. So we establish a sense of peace using the breath. We pinch, anchoring the experience of that. We're not searching for, a whole lot of pressure. This way, it gives us an access point, an anchor point. When we're experiencing anxiety, we go to this point, we press, we take a breath, and it takes us back to that peacefulness that we created in the first breath work that we did. Sissy says, I have a few times in the evening. Oh, the tingling? Oh, falling asleep. That's understandable. I think a lot of people do it and fall asleep in the morning. Don't listen to me while you're driving. I have the right dose of repetitiveness and boringness in my conversations that it promises to put anyone to sleep. Brent says, you're welcome, Shirley. Okay, thanks. May have not, but I'll check. And actually, my phone was shut off for a couple of hours until I paid my bill. Almost forgot. You got it back up and running, Brian? And it says, Mr. Dollar, since he said falling asleep. Jessica says, I fall asleep in Skitzer's lives at night. It's a good thing, though. It means that your friends are helping bring a sense of relaxation. If I ever figure out how to do merch, I was going to make stickers. I wanted to make one that says the Yogi Triple. For those who have made all three live streams, I'll send you a sticker. Um, and I fell asleep during Yogi's live stream sticker. Adam says, I had a trig teacher. I could not stay awake in her class ever. You're not even close to her sedative powers. I need to up my game then. So Adam, let me know if you can find that find the link. Brian says, yes, sir, it's back on. I didn't realize it was due today, but I got it back on now. So Brian, I went through some similar issues with you, and I found actually some of the exact same issues. And I found that Course of Miracles, for me, combined with yoga, breathwork, was my guiding light. It was my anchor. It was the only way I survived what was happening. But more importantly, it was that practice that allowed me to be kind and understanding in the face of my mom's Alzheimer's. It's hard. It is hard to be a caregiver for someone with any form of dementia. It's physically exhausting as well to take care of someone. And in my dad's life, I had to do virtually everything for him, and that could be physically exhausting. Um, but my dad was so present. The night he passed away, late afternoon, early evening, the hospice nurse was there. He was telling her stories of when he was born. Not that he remembered when he was born, um, but the nurse asked about his birth date, and I brought up the story that my dad was born in a blizzard, February 27th, 1927, in the mountains in Pennsylvania. His brother, who was lots of 20s, 27s here, um, his brother, who was 27 years older than him, had to hook up a horse and sleigh to drive over the mountain to get a doctor and bring him back. By the time the doctor got back, by the time my uncle got back with the doctor, my dad was already born. Um, and I got some of the story wrong, and my father corrected me and started telling the story. Um, he stayed sharp, which made everything so much easier. With my mom, she suffered a loss every day. And sometimes you would catch that recognition on her face of, I just lost this. One more thing, one more thing. The awareness of losing is always present. Brian says, oops, read that. DC says, I had a very long, lovely chat in Midnight Foot Soldiers chat last night. Nice. What do you talk about? Midnight is my potential future boyfriend. And it says, thank you, Brian. May you have a blessed day too. Truly says, happy for you, Lucy. Truly. My easiest duty ever in my history as a caregiver was when I was had to be a single stepfather for my daughter, as my wife at the time served a tour in the Air Force for 23 and a half years. She was served a tour in Iraq. She was taken as a Spanish linguist and retrained Somalia. They took her as a Somali linguist and turned her into a data analysis. She was sent to Iraq for a year. And even though we were separating, um, I stayed to take care of my daughter. And it was, worrisome. It was stressful because I was also caring for my mom at the time. My dad was recovering from a stroke. But my my daughter, my stepdaughter, is such a um, at that age, you know, all teenagers will go through some problems, troublesome times. But she was starting high school, and she was just a sweet natured. She still is wonderful person. Proud of the person she's grown up to be. So that was easy, taking care of her. Jessica says, I never went to see Iraq again. I think my ex-wife would agree with you, or Iran. Um, yeah, she definitely came back with even not being on the on the front line. It was not easy. I feel for you, Jessica. Lucy says it's hope and friendship that turns into a relationship. That's the best part to go. Hey, Lucy, I don't want to ask a personal question, so if you don't want to answer, do you get the opportunity to talk to them privately? It's the best way to deepen that friendship. Adam says, I wish anyone entering a romantic relationship peace and happiness. It's an awesome wish. Lucy says, me and Midnight are very, very dearest friends. Oh, we talk in private all the time on Messenger. Good. His name is Anthony, by the way. Um, Lucy says, well, Lucy finally gave us a name. Thank you. So, my time as a caregiver, there's three occasions. I found that, man, it's almost like my entire life, that's what I was training for. All those years of doing yoga, all those years of practicing Course in Miracles, prepared me to step up when I was asked to. Who knows what we're being prepared for now? When you think about the things that we're going through, when you think about maybe what might feel like a brokenness that we have right now, are you being prepared for something greater that you can offer to someone? Maybe your own brokenness is going to serve to help heal someone else. I always go back to the great line by Leonard Cohen: everything has a crack in it because that's how the light gets in. Maybe what we experience just seems so wrong, presented us with a crack, and now the light has come in, and we're able to give that light for someone else. Maybe our role all along has been to be a guide. We're not meant to be perfect. We are meant to help other people. We're meant to serve. We're meant to be of service. That's the thing with when we suffer that anxiety, when we suffer that trauma, we consider ourselves. We judge ourselves. Remember the story of Suzuki Roshi, one of the first Zen masters to come to the United States from Japan, fully realized Zen master. Um, and he was lecturing in front of a group of psychotherapist students. I believe somewhere in the 1960s when uh, Zen Eastern philosophy was still relatively new in the States and was greeted with a lot of skepticism by the general public as well, probably most specifically the medical industry, specifically the psychotherapy um, scholars. So these students, graduate students, on their way to um, prestigious careers in the industry, greeted him with a whole lot of skepticism and humor, laughing and giggling. And he stood in front of the room and he looked at them all and said, "Each and every one of you is absolutely perfect the way you are," which caused them to grin and laugh and nudge each other. That's what they expected a Zen master to say. "Oh, you're so perfect." You know, Zen masters, yogis, you're supposed to talk about that kind of stuff. You're supposed to see the innate beauty, those qualities within everyone. But then he looked at them, peered a little deeper, and said, "And you could use a little bit of work," which that floored them. They weren't expecting that. So wait a minute. We're absolutely perfect as we are, and we might be a little bit broken at the same time. Yes, one doesn't exclude the other. Who you are is absolutely perfect because you are a creation of God. You're a child of the universe. Sissy, you still here? She is. What did Crabtree, Stills, and Nash? It's actually Joni Mitchell, but Crabtree, Stills, and Nash, the definitive version. We are stardust, we are golden. And we have to find our way back to the garden. You literally are made out of stardust. You are literally made out of light. You're literally made out of golden light. And you never left the garden. We weren't kicked out of the garden. Ever. We are asleep within the garden. In Genesis, it says that Adam fell into a deep sleep. And yet, nowhere in the rest of the Bible does it say that Adam ever woke up. Adam being the primordial example of who we are. So he says stardust. We never left the garden, which means that we are perfect, just as we are. But we're dreaming of our own imperfection. We're dreaming of our brokenness, and it certainly feels real, doesn't it? The goal of awakening, and guess what? If you're here hanging out, we're all awakening together. The goal of awakening is realizing we're asleep in the garden. We're waking up to heaven here. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within. Where else do we have to look? That means it's accessible. Kingdom of heaven being, or heaven being a state of mind. Here, now. We access it through the breath, through meditation. More importantly, we access it through being kind and forgiving. And kindness and forgiveness starts right here, right now. You don't have to look for someone to forgive. They'll present themselves as a service. "Hey, I was just a complete dick to you. You're welcome." They're doing a service. Sorry for the language. Um, they did a service. We get to forgive them, but we don't need to look for them. We have our own stuff to deal with, our own work of forgiveness right here to ourselves as well. Being kind to ourselves. Why is it so hard to be kind to ourselves? Because we were never taught to be kind to ourselves. You shouldn't have to teach yourself that. It should come natural. Tenderness, self-tenderness, self-care, compassion. It's our greatest gift. Empathy, our greatest gift. Why deny it to ourselves? It's like Christmas every day, but we don't get to open the package. Guess what? Now it's time to open the package. Jessica, I like you enough for yourself. I love you enough for yourself. And if you could see yourself through the eyes in which I'm seeing you, you would instantly fall in love with yourself. And that's my goal. Every single breathwork session that we do together, every conversation, all I want you to do is fall in love with yourself the way that I've fallen in love with you. Lucy says, I just tried to reschedule my premiere. It won't allow. I have 5 minutes. But we're actually gonna end things here in 5 minutes. I'm gonna come out and use it. I'm gonna use the D word. I have a date. I have a virtual date. I know it sounds weird, but I do. Jessica says, I'm trying. It's just really hard. It is really hard. So, how about this, Jessica? Let's not try anymore. Let's not try anymore. Because all that effort is just blocking it. Lisa says, I'll be doing turn here again on Thursday afternoons. Yes. Bring your question, guys. Lisa says, oh, I hope you have a blast, Yogi. I usually do. A quiet blast, but it is a blast. Anytime you get to hang out with someone that you care so deeply about, is just awesome. So, yeah, let's not try anymore, Jessica. Let's relax. Let's relax, you and I, and just laugh and have fun. A date in the bushes. Lisa says, we know Hill. I'm not going to mention any names to protect the innocent. And I'm the innocent one. All right. We're going to wrap things up. I'm almost at my hour point. I have just about 3 minutes. And then we're going to, Lucy's laughing. Jessica, we're going to do that physiological sigh to end our session. We're going to breathe in, take a sip of air in, exhale, purse lips. Sissy says the cat's meow. Shelly says, have a wonderful time, Yogi. You heard nothing from me. We're going to do that 3 times, Jessica. And then we're just going to relax. Here we go. 3 breaths. Sip in air. Sigh. Gentle, relaxing. Breathing in. Sip in air. One more breath. Breathing in. Sip in air. Sigh. That's it. Hey, Sal. We're ending the live stream. We love you too, Abigail. Thank you so much. Hey, Sissy, I'm going to have you up and running, and then we'll do a replay. All right. I'm going to go. I'm going to see everyone later today. I'll be live again, 5:25. Maybe we'll sing a song or two. Love you guys. You're welcome, Jessica.